Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to both mount your radar to your rear view mirror and how to power it using a mirror tap. So this here is my radar detector. It's a Escort Max 360. I think I bought it right before I bought my first car ever. It's probably the most important thing I have in my car. But my biggest complaint with it has been the mount. This is the mount that comes with it. It's actually not the worst one out there. The worst ones I think are the ones that have double little suction mounts. They're not the most stable. They kind of wiggle around. I've had issues with where it got a little bit dirty or the temperature wasn't right. It's too cold or something, and it lost suction to the windshield, came to my car. My radar detector was sitting on the floor on my center console. Did not like that. So the solution is there's a product from Blendbound that you can hard mount it to your actual rearview mirror. It's a lot more solid. It's fixed there. Show you guys what it's like. I've had it on the car for the last couple days. You can see it installed right there. Took it on a road trip to see what it was like. Been trying it out. It's also, I've got my mirror tap in to wire it in for power to clean up the center area so I don't have a cable running all the way through. So I gotta clean up the final mirror tap. I'll show you guys how to plug it all in, the kit, also kind of talk about the design of the blend mount for holding the radar detector and why it's good. This is what the radar looks like when it's mounted on. You can kind of see it's got this thing like a spring clip that you can push this tab forward, which allows a little bit of space between the radar and the clamp there. Just to slide it on and off. But when it's hooked in, it's really securely held in here. There's a little piece of foam where it makes contact that it holds it in. Really solid, really sturdy. Really like this design here. You can see these little Allen head screws here. You can loosen them. The kit includes a Allen wrench to adjust the angle so you make sure your radar detector is level. The really nice thing also is this entire thing is made of really durable, lightweight, black anodized aircraft grade aluminum. Every piece is CNC machined to the right spec. So you have to actually enter what kind of car you have and what kind of radar detector you have. So they make sure the clamp here fits your radar. It's custom designed for that. Also that the mount itself fits your rear view mirror, because every rear view mirror is different on different cars there. You can see this is not perfect right here. Actually, I've got the mirror tab here to power it in. I got to take this out to show you guys. I got to finish cleaning up, zip tie some things together. I will show you where to plug in the terminal. So that is how you do the mirror tap to power your radar detector. Installing the blend mount is super simple, so I'm not going to take it all apart and put it back together, but essentially this piece here clamps onto the stem behind your rear view mirror, and then this is where the radar detector slides in. You adjust this, make sure it's level, tighten everything down, make sure it's all tight and firm, and like, look at that, it doesn't move. It's fixed to my mirror nice. The mirror, you can still adjust the angle of the mirror, and the mount just sits right there. Slide the radar right in. What I am going to show you guys now is how to hardwire and essentially use the mirror tap. So on the RS7, I have to pull this cover off, and then you have access to the power point there, and you have all these little taps. You can see these wire taps that give you several different sizes to make sure it fits into the harness plug in there. So let me take that off. I'm going to use the GoPros to try to show that, and I will explain how it is all done. I've already taken this piece off to get it installed first. So you pull this piece off above the mirror cover. On the RS7, this plastic trim piece just comes down, and you can kind of see right now, let's see, we've got, this is where you're supposed to plug it in the RS7. This is the harness clip. You leave everything else in place actually, and this is the mirror tab. This harness clip here, you have to unplug it, and you can see I already have these tapped in. You figure out which ones are the ground and which one's the positive. Black is your ground, red is your positive. You find the two there. You pick the right size terminal to insert. So I inserted these two. This is the full line that terminates at the end where you actually plug into your radar detector. So you're essentially just jacking into this power point right here. And the way it works is when you turn the car on, this gets power and the radar detector turns on. When you turn the car off, it turns off the radar detector too. They include this little guide to help you figure out how to do it. This is the instructions to get a voltmeter to determine which one is your ground, which one is your positive. On the RS7 specifically, the red and black and the brown are the two they use. The red and black is the positive and the brown is the ground. So you can usually, I would advise, look on the forums. There's a lot of people who've done this already. You can find your specific car, which ones to use. There's pictures available. Now, there are a bunch of different size taps. You can look at these right here. You have to essentially insert this right next to the factory harness, so you figure out the right size. There's various different large and small ones. I don't remember the exact size ones I used. I kind of tried a couple. Some were too loose, some were too big and would not fit. You insert them, make sure it's firm. It's installed right there. Now you have to connect it to here. It's also super simple. You can see this is where the positive, plug it right in there. And then the negative, I plug it in right there. They also include little bit of a heat shrink wrap or electrical tape. I'm going to use electrical tape just to tighten this up so it doesn't accidentally come loose in any way. So now we have the power cord taped up nicely. It's tapped in power-wise. I'm going to go ahead and plug this connector right back in to its original location. You can see these little hooks that hold the cable up. It's a little bit annoying to have the mirror in the way, but I don't want to even think about removing that thing. As I'm plugging this back in, one thing I forgot to mention is make sure the car is off. If you have the car on and you unplug this type of connector, you might get some weird warnings and lights. I just kind of make sure the car is off whenever I'm messing with electronic stuff like this. Okay, so I'm lining this back up. You can hear a click when it goes back in. I make sure it's all secure. This harness there lines up there. Now, this is kind of long, so I want to make sure there is just enough length for when the radar is here that I can plug it in and it's not hanging too long. So that's one thing I wanted to do to clean it up, which I was waiting to do this video because I knew I was going to take it apart again. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. And then I think what I'm going to do is, there's a little hook here. I'm just going to clean it up. They include a couple of zip ties with the mirror tap kit. There's zip ties. I go zip tie it together, make sure it's a little bit neat before I put this cover back on and cover it all up. So I tucked that wire in. Now, before I put this cover back on, I want to turn the car on and make sure the radar is getting power. This plug is in properly. There's no codes. There's no problems there. So we'll turn the car on. Screen comes out. And you see the lights. It beeps. The radar is getting power. Confirmed. So that is good. I pull the radar off to get easier access to clipping everything back together. So all the covers are back on. It's all snapped in. There we go. It's nice and tight. The mirror is there. The wire comes out right from the side. It no longer has to run from the radar all the way to the center console or wherever it's going in the middle. I can put the radar back on and we'll be good to go. There we go. You can see all the covers are clipped back on. It's all nice and flush. The radar detector is mounted to the mirror. It's nice and solid. Powered in right there. It's been working fine. They actually took the longest time just to figure out how to get this cover out without breaking anything and how to get the clip out to insert the little tabs for the mirror tap into the actual power point. After that, it was pretty simple. I mean, this clamps right in. It's fitted perfectly for the RS7 and for the Escort Max 360. If I were to actually buy a different radar detector, let's just say I decided to swap to a Uniden or something, I'd actually have to get a different mount at this point. But it's very clear on the website. You enter what kind of car you have. It makes sure that this mirror mount will fit your blend mount. And then getting the wire tap in, I looked on the forums for a little bit of assistance to figure out how to do it really fast once you figure out how to get this off, and it's all in. I mean, it powers up when I turn the car on, it turns off when I turn the car off. Everything is nicely contained in this little area now, and no longer have this long radar detector wire kind of cascading down in front of my screen through the center console to where it plugs in. It's all in this area, nice and firm. If you guys want to mount your radar detector to your rear view mirror with the blend mount and then power with the mirror tab, which you definitely should, use the link below in my description. You get a bit of a discount. I mean, I talked to the guys over at Blend Mount. I was really impressed. I asked them what made their product good, what was the superiority to their design, and was really impressed with it. I mean, it's really high quality materials. It fits, the fit and finish feels premium. It's really well engineered, solid there. It's clean, easy to install. They include tons of extra things. I mean, I got this whole thing of zip ties, a couple extra tabs for different sizes, double-sided tape, a couple extra bolts for the blend mount. My friend John has it in his GT3 RS. A bunch of people I know run this. I will always do this type of thing in my car now. It's just much more cleaner and premium for something like a radar detector, which as a car enthusiast is very, very important to me. Hope you guys like this video, showing you guys kind of review of the product itself and also a quick how to install. If you have specific questions, feel free to email me, message me, check out Blend Mount, check out the mirror tab, use the link below. Thanks for watching.